Hey, so I thought today that we could have breakfast together. If you're watching this and you're free, feel free to make yourself a meal and let's just chit chat like people. How are you doing? I made myself a bowl of different stuff. Um, Sometimes I find it a little difficult to eat 3 meals a day. I mean, it seems like a lot of decisions that need to be made, as well as a lot of tasks that I have to ask my body to do. So when I try to do multiple things of the day, as far as eating goes, that can completely deplete me to the point where I can do almost nothing else. And usually I decide to do other things in my day other than eat. So I tend to make meals that have lots of stuff in them. Sometimes they're super healthy, other times they're a little bit less so, but they do have lots of stuff. Today isn't the healthiest, but I'm hoping it's tasty. I have a lot of stuff in here and I haven't actually tried this before. So I am going to change the camera so you can see it a little better. It's just a bowl. It's an oatmeal bowl that I made with a little bit of protein powder, some yogurt, apples, chocolate covered almonds, and chocolate covered cranberries. And there's a little bit of peanut butter in there as well. So I have some fruit, there's grains, there's protein, and a little bit of calcium and whatever. So I'm hoping that the 10-year-old me will be happy about it because of the chocolate. And I'm hoping that there's enough good things in here that my body will say yay to, even though it's not the healthiest thing. So let's try that. It's actually not bad. The protein powder with the peanut butter kind of makes it taste like a oatmeal, what do you call it? A peanut butter oatmeal cookie, and it has some chocolate in there. So I don't mind that. When it comes to protein powders, I tend to put protein powder in meals where I don't think I'm going to eat much more in the day. I mean, today I feel pretty rough. So I know if I'm just going to have one meal, then I want to make sure that I have a little bit of extra protein in the meal. But I tend to like, and I've tried different protein powders, I tend to like the ones that are fortified like a multivitamin situation versus ones that are just protein. But the kicker is a lot of those protein powders are pea protein. And I have nothing against pea protein, except for the fact that texturally, I usually don't like them. They're usually a little bit funky to taste. That makes me sway from the pea protein into more whey protein territory. So that makes situations like this and meals like this not vegan anymore, but they are vegetarian. So I guess I should be fine with that. I'm not a vegetarian or vegan, to be clear, but I definitely try to reduce the amount of animal products that I'm eating. So let me know how you're doing. Like how are things for you right now? How is the month? Do you have anything that you're looking forward to? The thing I'm learning about this is it's really hard to take small bites, especially if you're wanting to get some of everything. I don't think that's actually possible. I find that I'm doing pretty well. I mean, in some ways, I'm not doing well at all. But in the whole, I'm doing okay. Chronic pain wise, disability wise, I'm not okay. I probably never will be okay. It's a constant compromise thing, and it's not going to change. It's probably going to get worse as I get older. And so in that way, I'm very much not fine. In the way of how my outlook is, how I feel in my world, and whatever, I'm doing okay. I'm a little bit frustrated on kind of the state of the world. I kind of feel that the people of the world are kind of voting against people like me existing. And I don't really understand it. I don't think that people in my community are really doing anything to kind of support people thinking that way. So that's frustrating. That's frustrating that people keep voting in a way, and this is more so in the States, but it's coming to Canada too, where people are going to vote probably against the interests of the disabled community, a lot of the LGBTQ plus community, and that's a little frustrating for sure. But I want to say that otherwise, if I can pretend that I have a world outside of a political realm, I'm okay. I'm doing okay. I'm going to share with you a craft idea that I have in a little bit, and I'm excited to get started on that. Let's just put it that way. It seems like it would be a huge undertaking. It might not seem like that to you. To me, it seems like it could be a lot. It's a lot to ask for my body. Are there any craft things that you do? When it comes to crafting and art, I think it's easy to default to how good you are as an artist. When it comes to drawing, I do a mean stick figure. I really do. You know when I draw a stick figure that it is a stick figure. You know. It's very compelling. But that's as far as it goes. I will draw a dog. You'll think it's a horse. It's not my strong suit. But I don't think that matters. My art and crafts and whatever is in my home, and it serves a purpose for me only. I really don't care. if my art is appreciated by other people. The process of creating the art and the showcasing of the art in my own home is just for me, is just for how I want to express myself. And that's it. So I'm excited to share a little bit of that with you later. I'm formulating the plan right now, so I don't really have a fully fledged out idea, although to be fair, I might never have a fully fledged out idea when it comes to stuff like this. I might just start and then pivot and make another plan as I go. And a lot of those plans are because of limitations that I have about myself, materials, time, whatever. So I might have illusions of grandeur that end up going nowhere. Or it ends up going somewhere, but just not to what I originally was thinking. I should look into mukbangs, not because I want to do them. Oh, God, no. I think originally mukbangs were for people to gather and eat together. I think that's what they were for. They were for a sense of community. They were for a sense of having company when you were eating because you might be feeling lonely or you might want that company when eating. I don't know. So I should do more research about that. I don't want to do the massive meals and eat them on camera and get views for that. I have no interest, although I am a volume eater. I never want to force myself to do something hazardous for clicks and views. I don't. I'm fine. I'm not minding this at all. What did you end up making for yourself? It looks like it's getting pretty sunny here. I'm just looking out the window. It's supposed to get to 5 degrees Celsius or something. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. If you measure temperature by that, I don't know what that would be. But there's snow on the ground. That's going to melt, of course. But it's very warm for December. What's your Christmas going to be like this year? Do you celebrate? I generally don't. I mean, there's things about Christmas that I definitely enjoy. And I will certainly join people for their celebrations. But yeah, I don't really myself. I think about it in the sense of if you're dating somebody and you've been with them for a while and they celebrate differently than you do, and you go and are a part of their celebrations and you have great memories of that, you and that person split up. Do you still celebrate the way that they did? Do you still celebrate what they did? I think of it in the same way. So I don't celebrate Christmas. I'm not religious. I'm not around family that does. The person that I'm new in partnership with celebrates Christmas, and I'm going to potentially be meeting different people that are important in his life as well as his family. I can't remember who all he said was going to be around. So I'm going to leave it there. And I think that's a really nice thing. It's a really nice inclusive thing that I'm doing. But for the last couple years, I spent Christmas alone. And I don't mean that in a sad, feel sorry for me way. I have enjoyed my alone time and I always do something that I want to do, and it's been fine. But it is very isolating because people are doing their own thing. People are out. You don't have the option to necessarily not be isolated. And that's a hard thing, especially in Canada right now. There's a Canada Post strike where a lot of the ways when I was really having a hard time with my body and I was feeling really isolated. One way that I broke out of some of that isolation was becoming a pen pal. And because we live in the times that we live, I was able to speak to my computer. My computer would make things up. And if I missed punctuation, so be it. If certain words were messed up or whatever, and I couldn't go back and fix it, so be it. And I would do that. And then when I felt a little bit more able in my body, I would print them out and I would put them in envelopes and mail them. And having something that comes in the mail that wasn't a bill and wasn't junk mail was amazing to me. Something that came in the mail that wasn't a need or a manufactured need, something that was a want, and something that wasn't a want in the sense of getting an Amazon delivery, although sometimes those are needs, those aren't wants. And if I got mail from pen pals delivered and I wasn't able to open them that day, I would still have them out so that I would be like excited and have something to look forward to. I look forward to feeling like I can open those letters. I feel excited for a time when I don't have the brain fog to be able to read those letters. And then if they were letters that I was able to read, but I wasn't able to respond to yet, it was the same thing. Like, I look forward to a time when I can respond to this letter. I have so much that I want to say to this person. So the fact that there's a postal strike during Christmas in Canada, I can see negatively impacting people that feel isolated because that might be an outlet of how they feel less isolated. I know it was for me. So I can't be completely novel in that circumstance. I don't want to assume that's the only way for a lot of people, but I know for me, there were times where I might have had some other outlets to make me not completely isolated, but I know I felt isolated. And I know stuff like that made me feel like there were contacts that I had in the outside world, and we would meet up in some way. So hopefully the strike doesn't last for too much longer. It's already been on, oh, I don't know how long it is now. My concept of time is completely wrecked. But I hope that there's a time soon when we can start sharing again. We can start sharing our stories. We can start doing activities that make us feel less isolated. And that's the beautiful thing about the internet is when something like this happens, there's still a way we can reach out. There's still people that we can talk to. Even if it's just a silly person trying to do a video of eating breakfast that she's yammering over. At least there's somebody out there that you can have some kind of conversation, some kind of outlet to communicate, some kind of connection. And that's really the key, is the connection piece. What are you going to do for the rest of the day? I think after we have breakfast, I'm pretty sure I'm going to take some kind of painkillers and lay down again. I don't see today being very productive. But that doesn't mean that when I lay down, I'll do nothing. I could have an audiobook playing. I think my brain feels pretty good today, so I might be able to read. Yeah, I don't see a heck of a lot happening. Although, I just thought of this. I have a dresser totally covered in laundry. It's clean, but I just haven't been able to put it away. So maybe as I'm up there, a majority of the time I might have to lay down. But in brief moments where I can be active, maybe I'll fold and put away this laundry. Maybe that's what I can do today. That would feel so good. I can't tell you how much of a mess that laundry is. And maybe that's relatable and maybe that's not. But what I tend to do is I tend to wash my clothes. I have a drying rack that I use. So when the clothes are washed, I put them on the drying rack. And then I completely forget about them on the drying rack. And then when it comes time to do clothes again, I take them from the drying rack and I put them on top of my dresser. And then when it comes time to get dressed, I just flip through the stuff on the top of my dresser and find stuff to wear. I'm not even going into drawers anymore. I don't know what I have. I don't know what I don't have. If I put away some of my clothes, at least the ones on the top of the dresser, then I think that I'm in somewhat a good spot to at least say what I have and don't have. It will not last. I give myself about a week, but at least it won't be to the extent that it is now. It's going to take a few weeks to get there. Right now, it's a big mess. That's all I can tell you. Maybe I should be embarrassed, but because it's clean clothes, I'm not. If it was dirty clothes, maybe I'd feel more icky. But because they're clean clothes, I kind of feel like I'm just messy and not dirty. I don't know. You can let me know. I wonder what Abby Sharp would think about my meal. Not that she's ever going to watch this, but if you do, Abby, let me know what I eat in a day. This could be all that I do. This is a fun video. I like this. Do you like this? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. I'll make this again. I think it fits or fits, hits. Yeah, I think it hits all the spots that I'm wanting to because of my chocolate cravings. I think it hits all the spots as far as yumminess and yeah, I like I said, not the healthiest, but it'll do for today. Yes, indeed, I am full. But it's not too bad. I don't feel disgusted or anything. I guess that's what you want in a meal. I don't know. Some people really like the full feeling. I feel like I can give or take that, but my body's not feeling really great today, so I think that's the best that I can hope for, really. Now that I've had a little bit of food, I'm able to have some Tylenol or something to try to take just the edge off. And like I said, I'm gonna go lay down. So thank you very much for joining me, for having a meal with me, whether or not you had a meal or if you just wanted company or whatever. Thanks again. Let me know in the comments what kind of style of food you think that you'd like to join me for, or what your favorite meal is, or whatever it is that you'd like to share. That's what the comment section's for. So I want to hear all your thoughts. So with that being said, I hope you're having the best day that you can possibly have in the situation you find yourself in, and I'll talk to you later.